Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and even press the bell button to get the regular updates. In last few videos, we have discussed about the OSI model in detail, and even we have discussed about the functionalities of all the 7 layers in detail. So in this video, I want to discuss about the TCP IP model, which is another model or an alternative model for the OSI model. First, we will discuss how many layers are there in the TCP IP model, and we will discuss about the functionalities of each layer in the TCP IP model. When the TCP IP model was originally designed, which we will call it as RFC 1122. What is RFC? Is nothing but request for comments. Usually, whenever any protocol or any model is designed in the computer networks, they will keep it in RFC and this unique number they will assign. So, those who are the professors, who are the scientists who are working in the similar direction, they will check the model and they will give their own comments. Okay, so I request everyone to go through the RFCs to understand about the any protocol in detail. Okay, so the original TCP IP model was designed as RFC 1122, which is a request for comments. So when they have originally designed, it consists of 4 layers only. One is the application layer, second one is the transport layer, we have internet layer, and we have a network layer. Okay, are you able to understand? Now when it comes to modified and the current TCP IP model, what we are using is that it consists of 5 layers. One is the application layer, transport layer, network layer, and the link layer. Previously it consists of physical layer and data link layer. It was separated as physical layer and data link layer. So totally we have 5 layers. When it was originally designed, it consists of only 4 layers. Now we will discuss the relation between the OSI model and the TCP IP model. In the OSI model, as you already know that we have 7 layers. What are the 7 layers? We have application layer, we have presentation layer, we have session layer, and then we have a transport layer, we have network layer, and we have data link layer, and then we have a physical layer. So totally we have 7 layers. Even I have discussed with you how to remember these 7 layers. Again, let me discuss. APS. If you take the starting alphabet of each layer, you will have AP, state, Tamil Nadu, TND, Tamil Nadu, Paina. Okay, previously when we have a combined Andhra Pradesh, our Andhra Pradesh in the world, means not world map, in Indian map, it will be there on top of the Tamil Nadu. So that's why Andhra Pradesh state, Tamil Nadu, Paina. Those who know Telugu, they can understand this shortcut. Or others, you can remember your own way. Okay, so we have 7 layers in the OSI model, and we have 4 layers in the original TCP IP model, and currently we are using 5 layers TCP IP model. Then you can ask me, sir, how these 7 layers, they made it into 4 layers. This application layer, presentation layer, and session layer, meaning is that what are the functionalities are there in the OSI application layer, and the functionalities of the presentation layer and the functionalities of the session layer has been done by the application layer of the TCP IP model. So what are the functionalities of these 3 layers will be taken care by the application layer in the TCP IP model. And coming to the functionalities of the transport layer will be done by the transport layer of the TCP IP model. Similarly, the functionalities of the network layer will be done by the internet layer. And the functionalities of the data link layer and physical layer combinedly will be taken care by the link layer in the TCP/IP model. Are you able to understand? So, when it comes to the current TCP/IP model, we are still using the application layer, and the transport layer will be taken care by the transport layer here, and here internet layer they have just modified the name as network layer. And what are the functionalities the network layer it is doing? Here here the internet layer is doing, the network layer will do. And the link layer is again divided into data link layer and the physical layer. So the functionalities of the link layer is segregated to the functionalities of the data link layer and the functionalities of the physical layer. Now let me just give an overview of the functionalities of these layers. Those who already know the functionalities of the OSI layer, they can integrate it. Am I right or wrong? Anyway, I will discuss about the functionalities of the each layer of the TCP/IP model in just an overview. Okay, if you want the detailed analysis, you can go through the functionalities of the OSI layers. Okay, now come to the application layer. As it is taking care about the functionalities of the application layer, presentation layer and the session layer in the OSI model. So what is the functionalities of the session layer? It will do the dialog control. Am I right? It will go for the synchronization. All these are the functionalities. Am I right? In the words, so all these functionalities will be done by the application layer. And coming to the presentation layer, we will do the translation. Am I right or wrong? And we will do the data encryption and even data compression. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? So all these, what you call the functionalities such as translation, code translation, and then data encryption and data compression will be taken care by the application layer. And even what are the functionalities of the application layer, like email service and network virtual terminal, all these things will be taken care. So the functionalities of the application layer, presentation layer, session layer of the OSI model will be the functionalities of the application layer in the TCP/IP model. And come to the transport layer. The transport layer of the OSI has been kept it as a transport layer. So what are the functionalities of the transport layer in the OSI model is the functionalities of the transport layer in the TCP/IP model. What are the functionalities of the transport layer? It will have the service or the source port number, or I can simply say that we will have a port number which is a 16-bit information. Am I right? We will have a port number which is a 16-bit information. So we will call it as a service point address or a port number which is a 16-bit. So it consists of that address, and then it will do the multiplexing and demultiplexing. Okay, am I right or wrong? And even it will do the segmentation and reassemble. Segmentation means if the information which is there is more than whatever the segment size, then it will make it into segments. Okay, so that's what the transport layer will do. Okay, and even it will do the flow control and error control. So what are the functionalities what we have discussed now? One is multiplexing, demultiplexing, serve the port number, and even the what you call segmentation, reassemble, flow control, error control. All the functionalities will be taken care by the transport layer in the TCP/IP model. Okay, and coming to the network layer, what are the functionalities of the network layer in the OSI model is the functionalities of the network layer in the TCP/IP model. What are the functionalities? One is that it will have the logical address which is a 32-bit address when it comes to the IP version 4. If it is IP version 6, we will have a 128-bit address. Am I right? If it is IPv4, we have a 32-bit. If it is IP version 6, we have a 128-bit IP address. Even it is called as a logical address. Even it will take care about the routing. It will do the fragmentation and defragmentation. Fragmentation it will do. Fragmentation means each network will have a maximum transmission unit. If the segment size is more than the maximum transmission unit, then it will do the fragments and make it into packets. So it will do the fragmentation. Okay, so what are the functionalities of the network layer in the TCP will be same as in the network layer of the OSI model. Come to the data link layer. What are the functionalities of the data link layer? It will do the flow control, it will do the error control, it will do the access control. Am I right or wrong? And you can ask me, those who have understood, the flow control and error control will be done at the transport layer, and the flow control, error control is done at the data link layer. What is the difference? Usually in lot of interviews people will ask, the transport layer flow control and error control will be done from the end to end, whereas the data link layer will take care about the hop to hop communication. Is it clear? In the last video I have discussed about what is the hop to hop communication and the end to end communication. Anyway, let me discuss. The end to end communication means from the source port to the destination port, because the transport layer will have the port number. So from the source port to the destination port, the data transmission, we will call it as end-to-end data transfer. So the flow control and error control will be taken care by the transport layer is end-to-end communication. When it comes to the data link layer, it will do the hop to hop. Let's take that simple example. I have a source, I have a router R1, I have a router R2, then I have a destination. So transport layer will take care about the source port number to the destination port number, the entire communication. When it comes to the network layer, it will worry about the communication between the source and destination. Now you can ask me, sorry, here in the transport layer also you are telling the source and destination, and in the network layer also you are telling source and destination. Then again it is a difference, you are confusing us. No, I am not confusing you. In the transport layer, the communication from source port number to the destination port number, whereas at the network layer, source to destination both are different. Is it clear? Are you able to understand it or not? Now in the data link layer, it is a hop to hop communication. So from here to here it will vary. Then this router R1 will vary, data link layer will vary from the communication between R1 and R2. Then router R2 data link layer will vary about the communication between these two. So the data link layer will do the hop to hop communication. So in the data link layer, whatever the flow control and error control is done from the hop to hop only. So that is the answer you should give. Okay. So what are the functionalities of the data link layer? We have the physical address, which is a 48-bit information. Okay. And even it will do the flow control, error control, access control, and even it will do the framing. Is it clear? All these are the functionalities. Flow control I have discussed, and even we have a mechanisms like flow control mechanisms like go back and select to repeat, stop and wait protocol. All these things we will discuss in the coming videos. You don't worry, if I am using the terminology, you don't get confused. Please watch me all the videos in a sequence so that you will understand the computer networks concepts in detail. Okay. So these functionalities of the data link layer will be equal to the functionalities of the data link layer in the TCP/IP model. And similarly, physical layer will vary about what is the topology you are using, whether you are using bus topology, whether you are using the ring topology, whether you are using star topology, and the communication will be in the bits. Okay, and it will take care about what kind of transmission medium you are using, whether you are using wired medium, whether you are using wireless medium. If you are using the wired medium, what kind of subcategory you are using, whether you are using optical cables, whether you are using the coaxial cables, whether you are using twisted cables. All these things will be taken care by the physical layer. And even it will take care whether what communication you are using, whether you are using the unicast, multicast and broadcast. Is it clear? All these terminologies I have discussed in my previous videos. I hope you have watched those videos. Okay, so the physical layer functionalities will be equal to the functionalities of the physical layer. Even it will do the encoding mechanisms also. We have discussed what is a Manchester encoding, what is a differential Manchester encoding. All these encoding mechanisms we have discussed. So even physical layer will do the encoding. So I hope you have understood the TCP/IP model which was originally designed and whatever the TCP/IP model we are currently using. Okay, initially it was 4-layer model and now we are using the 5-layer model, and how the relation between the OSI model and the TCP/IP model. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.